Welcome to the All-Star Athlete Podcast, your guide to mastering the mental game and reaching your full potential.
I'm Justin Hebert, a mental performance coach passionate about helping athletes break through mental barriers and maximize their abilities. I'm thrilled to have you join me for episode 6, where we'll explore 2 foundational elements that can make or break your athletic journey: goal setting and practice. These aren't just ideas, they're essential tools that, when used correctly, can help you turn ambition into achievement. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to set effective, measurable goals and turn every practice session into a productive step towards your dreams. Before we get into today's episode, let's take a quick look back at what we've covered so far in the podcast. We started in episode 1 by exploring the growth mindset and motivation, helping you build a strong mental foundation. In episode 2, we tackled stress and anxiety management, using examples from athletes like Simone Biles and Kevin Love to show how even the best athletes in the world have to develop techniques to stay calm under pressure. In episode 3, we introduced self-talk, mindfulness, and meditation, tools to help you stay centered and resilient in the face of challenges. For this, we looked to athletes like Tom Brady and Steph Curry, who use these methods to stay focused and positive. Episode 4 was all about overcoming fears, conquering self-doubt, and building self-confidence, drawing on lessons from icons like Allison Felix and Ronda Rousey, who have each shown tremendous courage in the face of adversity. And in episode 5, we introduced the powerful tools of imagery, visualization, focus, and flow, with inspiration from legendary athletes like Mikaela Shiffrin, Michael Jordan, and Tiger Woods, who have used these techniques to mentally rehearse and stay in peak performance mode. Today, we're focusing on 2 critical but often misunderstood areas of mental performance: goal setting and practice. Many athletes jump into their training with high ambitions, but overlook the importance of setting clear, actionable goals and breaking big dreams down into small, manageable steps. Without this foundation, it's all too easy to get lost in the grind. Athletes who set specific, challenging goals see, on average, a 25% greater improvement in performance compared to those who set vague or no goals. Think about athletes like Roger Federer, who meticulously planned his training and career milestones, setting both short and long-term goals that kept him motivated and focused. Or Gabby Douglas, who didn't just aim to become a champion, but set incremental goals to master specific skills, helping her track progress and build confidence on her way to Olympic success. Without clear milestones, athletes can quickly lose motivation, feel overwhelmed, or get discouraged by slow progress. Goal setting, when done right, becomes a roadmap that keeps you engaged, on track, and resilient when challenges arise. And then there's the aspect of practice itself. Many athletes assume that just spending hours on the field, court, or in the gym will naturally lead to improvement. But it's not simply about time spent. It's about how you spend that time. Studies show that athletes who engage in focused, deliberate practice, in other words, targeting specific skills and addressing weaknesses, achieve nearly twice the progress compared to those who rely on unstructured repetition. Purpose-driven practice was essential for Kobe Bryant, known for his intense and meticulously structured practice sessions. Kobe would analyze every move, from footwork to shooting form, refining each detail with precision rather than taking hundreds of shots without focus. Similarly, Mia Hamm exemplified deliberate practice in soccer, continually honing her touch, accuracy, and field vision to gain a competitive edge. By practicing with clear intentions, athletes can make meaningful gains while avoiding burnout and frustration that often come from endless hours of unfocused training. Practicing with purpose transforms each session into a crucial step towards achieving peak performance. In today's episode, we'll explore strategies and techniques to make goal setting in practice both impactful and purposeful. For goal setting, we'll dive into the SMART goals framework, where goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This approach helps athletes track progress precisely, avoiding the confusion that can come from vague ambitions. We'll also discuss creating goal hierarchies, layering short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals to give athletes a structured path towards success. Hamm, for instance, didn't just set a goal to dominate on the field. She mapped out smaller, daily, and seasonal targets, treating each one as a stepping stone toward her ultimate aspirations. Another key goal-setting tool we'll cover is visualization, a topic covered in previous podcasts, where athletes mentally rehearse achieving their goals in detail, building confidence and mental preparation for success. When it comes to practice, we'll focus on strategies to ensure that each session truly counts. One effective technique is implementation intentions, or if-then planning, a proactive approach where athletes develop responses to potential obstacles. For example, an athlete might think, if I feel fatigued during practice, then I'll concentrate on my breathing to recharge. So they're prepared to stay focused and adaptable. This method was pivotal for Kobe Bryant, helping him maintain his legendary focus and intensity even in high-pressure moments. Another important concept is deliberate practice, training with intention by focusing on specific skills rather than general repetition. This method is crucial not only for improving particular abilities, but also for achieving the goals that you set. Roger Federer exemplifies this approach, dedicating his sessions to refining targeted aspects of his game, such as footwork or backhand shots, to align with his goals of precision and consistency on the court. By breaking down larger aspirations into focused, skill-based practice goals, Federer was able to maximize his improvement and maintain steady progress towards his ultimate objectives. Practicing with purpose ensures that each session contributes directly to your overall growth, turning your goals into actionable, achievable steps. Equally important to effective practice is tracking and adjusting goals regularly. By documenting your progress and reflecting on each practice, athletes can stay motivated, celebrate small wins, and recalibrate their goals if necessary. Finally, we'll emphasize that recovery and rest are crucial parts of productive practice. Including planned recovery in a training session, as Gabby does, helps prevent burnout and keeps each session as productive as possible. By the end of this episode, you'll have these powerful tools in hand, ready to build a solid roadmap to success, one goal and one purposeful practice at a time. Many athletes dream big but struggle when it comes to breaking down those dreams into achievable goals. A common pitfall is setting overly vague goals like, quote-unquote, get better or, quote-unquote, win, without defining what that actually means or how to get there. Without clear, actionable objectives, it's easy to lose motivation, feel overwhelmed, or even experience burnout, especially when progress seems slow or non-existent. Another frequent mistake is setting goals that are too large or unrealistic within a short time frame, which can lead to disappointment and discourage athletes from pushing forward. Effective goal setting is about turning a vision into a roadmap where each small milestone provides a sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated. When goal setting is done correctly, it becomes the foundation for long-term success. But if it's done wrong, it can lead to stalled progress and mental fatigue. But what is goal setting exactly? Is there an easy definition for it? It sounds like a straightforward concept, yet when we delve into the context of sports, defining goal setting can feel confusing and elusive. At its core, goal setting is the process of identifying specific outcomes that you want to achieve and creating a plan to reach them. In sports, this means setting clear, actionable targets that can guide daily training, motivate improvement, and measure progress over time. Goals in athletics are not just about winning or losing, they encompass everything from mastering a technique to building strength, improving endurance, or enhancing mental resilience. Effective goal setting gives an athlete a roadmap, breaking down broad ambitions into manageable steps that build on each other. It's the difference between saying, I want to be better, and defining what better means exactly and how to get there. When done correctly, goal setting empowers athletes to stay focused, resilient, and adaptable, making each practice and competition a step toward their ultimate potential. The path to greatness for athletes like Roger Federer and Gabby highlights the power of well-structured goal setting. Federer and Douglas didn't simply set one broad goal and hope for the best. They each used specific intentional goal-setting techniques that helped them progress consistently and overcome inevitable challenges. Let's dive into how they each approached goal setting, honing their mental game to reach the pinnacle of success. First, let's take a look at Roger Federer's approach to goal setting. Roger Federer's journey to becoming one of the greatest tennis players of all time wasn't built on vague ambitions. It was structured on specific, well-defined goals that evolved over time. Early in his career, Federer set SMART goals, in other words, goals that were specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, rather than simply aiming to improve his game, Federer would set targets like increase first serve percentage by 5% over the next month, or reduce unforced errors on his backhand side by 10%. These concrete, measurable objectives allowed him to track his improvement week by week. By setting realistic, time-bound goals, Federer ensured that he was constantly moving in the right direction, with each practice session contributing directly to a larger plan. This approach not only kept him focused on incremental improvements, but also helped him avoid the frustration that comes with trying to tackle everything all at the same time. Federer also utilized a goal hierarchy system, creating a roadmap that included short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. For instance, one of his short-term goals might have been to focus on his fitness or a specific skill, such as improving his volleying technique. Medium-term goals would span the entire tennis season, where he would set objectives to reach certain rankings or win specific tournaments. His long-term goals were centered around achievements like winning multiple Grand Slams or breaking records. By working within this layered structure, Federer maintained a balance between immediate improvements and larger career-defining aspirations. Each time he achieved a short-term goal, it provided him with momentum and confidence to aim higher. Roger Federer's meticulous approach to goal setting created a self-sustaining cycle of growth and motivation, allowing him to continually refine his game and maintain a high level of performance over a remarkably long career. Next, let's take a look at Gabby Douglas's approach to goal setting. Gabby Douglas, an Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics, understood early on in her career that her dream of becoming a champion required more than just ambition. It required setting precise goals that she could chip away at each day. Douglas's approach to goal setting was rooted in incremental skill mastery. Instead of solely focusing on her Olympic aspirations, she broke her goals down into specific techniques and skills that she needed to master along the way. For instance, rather than just working toward the broad goal of winning, Douglas would set goals like perfect the landing on the uneven bars routine, or increase tumbling precision by reducing form breaks. Each of these micro goals served as building blocks that eventually contributed to her gold medal success. By focusing on small, achievable milestones, Douglas was able to monitor her progress regularly, which gave her both the confidence and feedback necessary to continue pushing forward, especially in the high-stress world of elite gymnastics. Douglas's goal-setting process also involved frequent self-assessment and adjustment. She and her coaches tracked her progress meticulously, noting any areas that needed additional focus or refinement. For example, if she struggled with a specific movement or felt that her balance was off, she would adapt her training schedule to focus more heavily on that area until she achieved the desired improvement. This practice of adjusting her goals based on her immediate progress helped her avoid feeling stuck or discouraged. By mentally rehearsing each element of her routine and visualizing herself executing skills flawlessly, she was able to prepare herself mentally for success and minimize performance anxiety. This holistic, adaptive approach to goal setting ensured that she wasn't just physically prepared for competition, but mentally resilient as well, enabling her to perform at her peak when it mattered the most. Roger Federer and Gabby Douglas both demonstrate that goal setting is not simply about having a vision, but about creating a well-defined pathway that breaks down dreams into actionable steps. Their methods show that success often lies in the details. Knowing how to set the right goals, assess progress, and make adjustments as necessary to keep moving forward. Now that we've discussed how several iconic athletes have used goal setting to reach new heights in their careers, let's look at a few actionable tips that you can start using today to incorporate powerful goal setting techniques into your own athletic journey. The first tip is to start with the SMART framework. When setting goals, make sure that they're SMART. In other words, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like, I want to get faster, refine it into something like, I want to reduce my 100-meter sprint time by half a second within the next 3 months. This approach gives you a clear focus, a way to measure your progress, and a realistic time frame to work towards. SMART goals help you avoid feeling lost or overwhelmed and give you an actionable path forward. Every time you achieve one, it boosts your confidence and motivates you to set the next goal. The second tip is to use a goal hierarchy to create short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Create a hierarchy of goals by breaking down your big, long-term aspirations into smaller, incremental steps. Start with your long-term goal, for example, to compete at a high level or to break a personal record. Then identify medium-term goals that will lead you there, like improving your form, technique, or endurance over the next 6 months. Finally, establish short-term goals that you can work on each day or week, such as completing specific drills or clocking in a certain number of practice hours. This layered approach helps you stay focused, motivated, and engaged in the journey, giving you consistent targets to hit along the way. The third tip is to make visualization part of your goal-setting routine. Visualization is a powerful mental tool that can strengthen your commitment to your goals and build confidence. Start by picturing yourself achieving your goal in as much detail as possible. For instance, if your goal is to hit a personal best, imagine what that moment would look and feel like. How you're moving, the expressions on your teammates' faces, the sound of the crowd. Then, go a step further and visualize yourself performing the specific actions that will get you there, like each stride in a race or each stroke in the pool. By mentally rehearsing these moments, you'll build familiarity with success and prepare your mind and body to achieve it in real life. Okay, let's now transition into the concept of practice. Just as goal setting lays the foundation for what you want to achieve, practice is where the real transformation occurs. It's not merely about putting in hours on the field or court, it's about engaging in deliberate, focused training that aligns with your goals. This is where theory meets reality, and the strategies you've outlined come to life. By applying the principles of effective practice, you can turn your aspirations into tangible skills and abilities, ensuring that every moment spent training propels you closer to your peak performance. Let's explore how you can harness the power of practice to elevate your game and achieve your goals. Many athletes aspire to improve, but often struggle with building an effective practice routine. A common pitfall is viewing practice as something to get through, rather than as a strategic opportunity for growth. This mindset often leads to unfocused, repetitive sessions that don't target specific weaknesses or foster new skills. Another frequent mistake is practicing inconsistently or only putting in maximum effort sporadically, which prevents meaningful progress and can leave athletes feeling stagnant or discouraged. Effective practice isn't just about clocking in hours, it's about committing to a structured, purpose-driven routine that maximizes time and effort. When done right, practice not only builds physical skills, but also strengthens mental resilience. On the other hand, ineffective practice can lead to frustration, burnout, and even a plateau in performance. But what exactly is practice? And how should we define it in the context of sports? At a first glance, it may seem like a straightforward concept, but truly effective practice is complex and multifaceted. In sports, practice isn't merely about repeating actions. It's about engaging in deliberate practice, an approach that involves intentional, focused efforts to develop new skills, improve weaknesses, and refine strengths. Deliberate practice requires clear objectives and a focus on activities that challenge athletes just beyond their current capabilities. Great practice sessions are planned with precise goals in mind, directly aligning with an athlete's vision for growth and preparing them to perform their best. At its core, practice is a series of targeted actions that strengthen an athlete's foundation, create pathways for growth, and, if done with intention, lead to real improvement and success on game day. Now let's look at how two legendary athletes, Kobe Bryant and Hamm, used the concept of deliberate practice to reach the top of their respective sports. Both athletes exemplified a disciplined approach to practice that was anything but routine. They treated each session as a critical opportunity to grow. Their commitment to purposeful, deliberate practice is what set them apart, laying the groundwork for greatness through repetition, refinement, and resilience. Let's take a look at Kobe Bryant's approach to deliberate practice first. Kobe Bryant, known as one of the most relentless athletes in basketball history, approached practice with an intensity and focus that few could match. Bryant didn't just practice for the sake of practicing. He meticulously broke down his game, identifying specific areas for improvement in a way that embodied deliberate practice. One of Kobe's key techniques was micro-practicing, where he isolated small aspects of his game, like footwork or shot mechanics, and worked on perfecting them one at a time. For example, he would spend hours in the gym practicing his pivot moves from multiple angles or shooting from different positions, building muscle memory until these actions became second nature. By setting specific, measurable goals for each practice, he ensured that every minute on the court contributed directly to his larger game plan. This intense focus on details meant that Kobe didn't just put in the time. He used every second to refine specific skills, making each practice session a purposeful step towards mastery. Another key aspect of Bryant's deliberate practice was his commitment to game speed drills, where he replicated the intensity and pressure of an actual game during training sessions. For example, instead of shooting casually or jogging through drills, he pushed himself as if he were competing against the toughest defenders, building stamina and mental resilience needed for high-stakes moments in actual games. By treating every drill as if it were a game situation, Kobe's practice habits equipped him to stay composed and focused under real pressure. This commitment to deliberate practice, working on specific, challenging tasks with focused effort, set the foundation for his extraordinary game day performances. Bryant's methods show that deliberate practice isn't about quantity, but quality, ensuring that each practice aligns directly with improvement and growth. Next, let's take a look at soccer legend Mia Hamm's approach to deliberate practice. Mia Hamm exemplified the principles of deliberate practice, building her training routine around purposeful, intentional improvement. Hamm believed in the power of incremental progress, focusing on getting better by 1% each day rather than seeking immediate perfection. She broke down her game into essential skills like dribbling, passing, and shooting, and set specific measurable goals for each. By targeting skills one at a time and refining her techniques through repeated drills, she ensured that her practice sessions aligned with her growth goals. For instance, Hamm often worked on hitting precise passes or corner kicks from various distances, aiming to achieve consistent accuracy regardless of the field conditions. This type of deliberate practice helped Hamm improve specific elements of her game over time, adding layers of skill that made her one of the most versatile soccer players in history. Hamm's approach to deliberate practice also included creating adverse conditions to simulate real game scenarios. She frequently practiced in challenging environments, like in the rain or on uneven fields, to prepare herself for the unpredictability of live matches. This adaptability, paired with her commitment to purposeful practice, helped her build resilience and mental toughness, qualities essential for performing at a high level under pressure. Additionally, Hamm used self-assessment and goal setting in her training, constantly evaluating her progress and setting new objectives to maintain momentum. This proactive approach to deliberate practice not only prepared her physically, but also reinforced her mental resilience, making her capable of overcoming obstacles in both training and competition. Hamm's dedication to intentional, focused practice served as the backbone of her success, allowing her to reach peak performance when it mattered the most. Together, Kobe Bryant and Mia Hamm illustrate how deliberate practice can transform an athlete's approach to training, making each session an essential part of the journey towards excellence. By setting clear goals, practicing with intensity, and staying adaptable, they exemplified what it means to fully commit to the process of becoming great. Their paths show that deliberate practice isn't just about effort, but about maximizing each session's impact, pushing beyond limits, and always striving for that next level. Now that we've explored the significance of deliberate practice and how it can transform your training, let's delve into some actionable tips that you can implement right away. These strategies will help you structure your practice effectively, maximize your improvement, and ultimately enhance your performance on the field or in the arena. Here are 3 practical tips to elevate your practice routine and ensure that each session is purposeful and productive. The first tip is to embrace deliberate practice. Rather than simply going through the motions, focus on deliberate practice, which involves setting specific goals for each session and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Identify particular skills or techniques you want to improve and dedicate your practice time to those areas. For example, if you're a basketball player working on your shooting, instead of just shooting 100 free throws, break it down. Aim to improve your shooting form, practice shooting from different angles, and analyze your mechanics. Deliberate practice is about striving for constant improvement, which leads to more effective training sessions and greater progress over time. The second tip is to develop a structured practice plan. Create a detailed practice schedule that outlines what you will work on each day. This structure helps to keep your training focused and ensures that you're consistently addressing different aspects of your game. Include a mix of skill drills, strength training, and mental conditioning in your plan. Additionally, allocate time for self-assessment to evaluate your progress and make adjustments as needed. A well-organized plan prevents your practice sessions from becoming aimless and stale and ensures that you're making steady strides towards your goals. The third and final tip is to incorporate feedback loops. Actively seek feedback during your practice to enhance your learning and skill development. This could be from a coach, a teammate, or maybe even video analysis of your performance. Use this feedback to identify areas for improvement and make necessary adjustments. For instance, if you're a swimmer, recording your strokes and analyzing them afterwards can provide insights into your technique and areas that need work. By incorporating feedback loops, you create a dynamic practice environment where learning is continuous, allowing you to fine-tune your skills and increase your effectiveness in competition. As we come to the close of this episode, let's take a moment to reflect on the powerful concepts we've explored today that can transform your athletic journey. Effective goal setting and deliberate practice are essential components of any athlete's journey towards excellence. Throughout this episode, we've explored the strategies utilized by legendary athletes such as Roger Federer, Gabby Douglas, Kobe Bryant, and Mia Hamm, who exemplified the power of precise goal setting and focused practice in their pursuit of greatness. Roger Federer's meticulous approach to setting SMART goals and creating a goal hierarchy enabled him to consistently refine his skills and maintain his position at the top of the tennis world. Similarly, Gabby Douglas's emphasis on incremental skill mastery and her commitment to regular self-assessment highlighted the importance of deliberate practice in achieving her Olympic dreams. Kobe Bryant's relentless dedication to practice exemplified the concept of deliberate practice as he meticulously honed every aspect of his game, breaking down his performance into actionable components to improve over time. His quote-unquote Mamba mentality was not just a slogan. It also represented an unwavering commitment to excellence that inspired countless athletes. Mia Hamm also showcased the value of setting specific goals and maintaining a focused practice routine, emphasizing teamwork and perseverance. Her success on the soccer field was a testament to her ability to balance individual skill development with collaborative efforts, reinforcing the idea that practice is not only about personal growth, but also about enhancing team dynamics. By understanding the common pitfalls associated with goal setting, such as vague objectives and unrealistic timelines, and defining practice in a way that emphasizes intention and focus, you can cultivate a robust framework for your development. Remember, it's not just about dreaming big, it's about breaking those dreams into actionable steps and committing to a structured practice routine that fosters growth and resilience. Incorporating these strategies into your own regimen will not only help you improve your skills, but also enhance your mental fortitude, ultimately leading you closer to your athletic aspirations. Embrace the journey of self-improvement by leveraging the techniques used by those great athletes, and you'll be well on your way to unlocking your full potential. And now, as we've been doing on every podcast so far in this series, I want to discuss the weekly takeaway challenge. This week, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect deeply on your current goals and practice routine. Think about one specific area in which you'd like to improve, whether it's a particular skill, technique, or physical attribute that's crucial for your performance. Once you've identified that area, set a SMART goal, that's S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, that will guide your focus. Next, create a deliberate practice plan tailored to that goal. Outline the specific actions you will take during your practice sessions, including what drills or exercises you will incorporate and how you'll measure your progress. After a week of dedicated effort, assess how well you did. What improvements did you notice? What challenges did you face? Here's where it's critical to be honest with yourself about what worked and what didn't, and be ready to adjust your approach as necessary. As usual, I'd love to hear about your experiences. Feel free to post your thoughts in the comments, share what strategies helped you, any challenges you encountered, or if you have any questions for me about the process. Engaging with your fellow listeners can provide additional insights and support as well. Remember, if you found value in today's episode, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with anyone who you think could benefit from these discussions. Together, let's continue striving for greatness, one deliberate practice session and one goal at a time. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next episode.